So why won't a weapons ban work? Why is it that conservatives are always saying that a weapons ban won't work? Well, first off, let's talk about what is a weapon, because everybody thinks of handguns and knives and, the dreaded assault rifles. They think of those as being we just could ban those and then violent crime would stop. Well, first off, let's discuss what a weapon is. So you see these signs. They say notice, weapons of any kind prohibited, and then here's some common security signs. Guns, knives, and weapons of any kind are banned on this premises. Weapons of any kind are prohibited on these premises, regardless of a concealed carry permit. No weapons allowed. No guns, knives, or other weapons allowed. No firearms or weapons allowed on this property. So those are common signs. And you see these symbols here, various symbols, right? We see all these. We see these everywhere. Once you see this, you'll notice it everywhere. Well, let's discuss what a weapon is. A weapon is a noun. This comes courtesy of Google, by the way, so props to them. A weapon is a noun, a thing designed or used for inflicting bodily harm or physical damage. Now let's stop there for a second. A thing designed. Now something designed to inflict bodily harm or physical damage would be an axe, like a weapon. Like you would think of an axe as a weapon, right? Not like a double-edged barbarian axe, a sword like a katana or a Norman sword, or something you'd picture a knight running around with, right? A switchblade knife, double-edged knife, a dagger, a sword itself, some type of mace, pistols, rifles, anything like that. You'd think of that as a weapon, because that's what we would stereotypically think of as a weapon. That's something purposefully designed to harm. But the rest of the definition of a weapon this is what's so loose about this definition. It's something used for. So it could be something completely innocent that was built for a totally different purpose, like a shovel that was used as a weapon. So many buildings that would allow you to walk in with something innocuous would then later charge you for bringing that thing in if you used it as a weapon. So we think again, here's a silhouette of a revolver. Here's a silhouette of a semi-automatic handgun, and here's a hunting knife. A knife very similar to this was actually featured, incidentally, in the movie Scream as a stabbing weapon. This is a very poor stabbing weapon, by the way. That's Hollywood for you. This is actually a weapon used for cleaning meat, for slicing into and cleaning meat. It'd be a better slicing weapon, and it's definitely a better thing to clean a deer carcass with or something. Baseball bats are sometimes viewed as a weapon. They definitely get used as weapons. I carried a Swiss Army knife for years. So pocket knife. Wait, what? A hammer and a wrench? I'm going to tell you what, I've done devastating damage to walls tearing something out with a hammer, and a human body would take a lot less damage than that before the person would die. And wrenches are incredible weapons. I remember talking to a gentleman who'd been a union member, and he talked about hitting a guy in the head with a wrench who was helping break their union strike. The man was a scab, and he said later in life he regretted deeply having hit that man in the head with that wrench because he wondered if he killed him. Wait a minute, an ink pen? It's anything you can use as a weapon. And I'm going to tell you what, if you don't believe me, now leave the cap on the thing, but pick up a pen. I've got a pen in my hand right now. And jab yourself in the leg with it. And I mean, jab yourself pretty hard. Leave the cap on. Don't actually put a hole in yourself. But just raise your hand and drop it, and you'll feel the amount of force there. Now imagine putting all your force behind it like you're trying to stab someone with the cap off. Oh yeah, that's a weapon. A cane? There have been people beaten to death with canes. I mean, you can look that up on the internet. And canes aren't the gentle things you'd think of them as. And then you've got a rock. More people get killed every year by rocks. Just one more potentially blunt object. And I know as a kid we used to throw rocks at other kids, and that's just one of those things. Wait, a lanyard? I'm going to tell you what, I had this conversation with my son recently. I've got a background in martial arts, and I was educated to look at any number of things as weapons and perceive them when they're coming at you as a potential weapon. You take this thing and put a couple keys or 8 or 10 keys on the end of it and then snap it out towards somebody's face and hit them with it, that's a weapon that'll do more than distract you. Swing it around your head like a mace. Pow! Hit him with it, or it can be a choking weapon. And that's what I was counseling my son with, was don't leave this hanging out your back pocket like all these other boys your age do, where somebody can come up, grab it, snap it up over your head, and start choking you with it. Not a good thing. Not a good thing at all. A power cord, window blinds with the cord on them cut off and used as a weapon, a butter knife, a letter opener. That used to be a cliche item that was used to kill people in movies, and somebody would look over and grab it, or a paperweight, a light bulb. This is becoming popular in movies, but for years in prisons, people would take a light bulb out of the ceiling and knock someone senseless, shove the light bulb in their mouth, and then jam the palm of their hand up under their chin and shatter the light bulb in their mouth. A lot of light bulbs contain harmful gases, including mercury in some light bulbs. And then secondly, you've got all that glass that's going to pop all over the inside of their mouth and shatter. I mean, that's grisly, and I apologize for that. But anything can be used as a weapon. Now, we've come full circle. I want to show you something. When we're talking about a ban on all kinds of firearms, this is actually the FBI website. I'm going to move this down where you can see this. This is fbi.gov, and you can actually look this up. And this is Expanded Homicide Data Table 11. You can look this up on their website, and this whole link is here. I'll make sure to put it in the actual video, under the video when I upload this. But this is on their website from 2011, the total number of people killed by various objects, total number of murder victims, total number of firearms, total number of handguns, total number of rifles, shotguns, and they group them together. And then you've got knives or cutting instruments, and then blunt objects. Now I want you to look at this. More people were killed by blunt objects. More people were killed by blunt objects. 496 people. Let's see if I can make this a little larger for you. So right here it says blunt objects, clubs, hammers, etc. More people were killed by blunt objects, 496 in the year 2011, than were killed by rifles. Now we're trying to ban all these crazy, nasty, deadly, dangerous rifles, but wait a minute. This is according to the FBI, and they list every person killed in the United States as a murder, even if you were defending yourself from some crazed person that was going to kill you and rape your family. They actually categorize it that way. So even justifiable homicide, self-defense, defending someone else is still categorized as murder, last I knew, by the FBI. So if you think about that, and then here, personal weapons, hands, fists, feet, etc., 726 people in 2011, this is according to the FBI, were beaten to death by someone else's body, their fist, their elbow, their foot. They were kicked to death, stomped, whatever. By the way, poison, 5. But let's go back. Knives had a huge category. We're talking about banning all this stuff. By the way, in Europe, they're actually down to banning knives under 4 inches in homes, is what they're proposing, last I knew, in Europe, because people are still killing, stabbing, beating, raping, mugging other people using weapons. Why? Because the problem is people, and if you've ever heard a conservative speak, which you're hearing one now, then you've heard that statement. It's not, the weapon isn't the problem, it's the person behind it. I know people that I would give a nuclear weapon to and never worry about them because they would never use it. I know people that I would give a tank to and never worry about them because they would never use it. Now, they might drive it around their property and have a good time doing that, but they would never load a shell into it and drive into town and blow up the Piggly Wiggly. But let's go back, and just one more time, I got to touch on this. 496 people in 2011 were killed by items like hammers and clubs, compared to 323 who were killed by rifles. 356 were killed by shotguns. According to Joe Biden, all you ever need for home defense is a shotgun. But I guess the next thing they're going to have to ban behind these dangerous rifles that actually aren't killing that many people is they're actually going to have to ban shotguns, and then they're going to have to ban knives, and then they're going to have to ban hands and feet. Hands and feet are very dangerous, apparently. Interesting. So we're talking about what a weapon is. Well, a weapon is anything you use to harm another human being. So if you know somebody who doesn't understand that, share this video with them and try to help them understand that a weapon really is in the eye of the beholder and the person that's going to use it. Have yourselves a great day. If you haven't seen my other videos, check them out. Take care.